Welcome back, citizens of TheOdie Gaming. I, your fearless leader, fearless mayor, TheOdie here, and I hope you're ready for a good reading. Well, I guess on your part, you'll be listening, because we got ourselves a load of pages to read. Oh yeah. So grab some snacks, grab some chips, popcorn, pause the video, pop some corn, popcorn, get it, wink, because we're about to start. In 3, 2, February 6. The construction of the railway bridge is almost complete and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I would be very sad to leave South Africa. I've become so attached to it, its culture, its arts, over the past few months, that I can't help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday, soon hopefully, although I'm afraid there is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here, who were ecstatic about my new appreciation of their country. They have offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already created, and got ready to ship, along with many trinkets I bought today myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I feel several renovations will have to be made. Even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to go back to work. John Patterson has just told me some natives are causing trouble. A very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. Woohoo! February 12th. By the way, sorry if I break my sentence like that. It's a lot to read. Okay, that's my excuse. February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes and they truly seem like some tenebrous statues. At first, it was just annoying, but lately, it has become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So, it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump at us at any moment. I think I will hire some protection as a measure of precaution. February 15th. Fascinating! I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them as quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated and one can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful, although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is quite poor. It's poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leapt out as inviting or special. Made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. By the way, yes, I do know my voice cracks. It happens. It just does. February 16th. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should be focusing more on the task at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault, and I accept it. Man, I'm so focused into reading this. February 20th. They are at it again, lurking beyond the forest. It's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now we feared what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive towards distractions, but I can't help feel the area has, in fact, become more sinister. And yet, I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. February 24th. At last, I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible finding, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happened to know about them, but only through stories they heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assuming to be extinct long ago, but according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking town, much in the same way they had been stalking us. People used to call them, the hound? Excuse me, the hound? I'm gonna go with the hound. The hound, as such was the sound of screams heard echoing late in the night. They come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop a hill in the distance. Some would say it was fire. Others the cursed spirits of an ancient god. Whoever it was, they say the bright light amid those fantastic screams was bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between those horrible nights became longer and longer until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity until now. They were later known as Dhamma. I felt Latin say that. If you've ever seen Supernatural, that might sound familiar. A rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe with the exception of a few townspeople. It must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generation to towns. Very old. I kind of butchered that. Sorry. February 27th. I will confess that I have become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things, a dangerous yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I feel I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. March 4th. 2 days before 1 month later. Because it started with March 6th. I think. Anyways, March 4th. Finally. I have managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle. Okay, when we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were filthy looking, coarse, and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in a tribe. They must be quite unique. Then as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spasmodically and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an indescribable way. 2 of them walked away, still in that monotonous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene into a shack. The next minute they brought out into the open an odd-looking mass. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, was mesmerized, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it, and rendered my modest collection of African curiosity into dull and uninteresting items. The mass was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting a guttural song. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it. Someone will fix me. Psalm, okay? That's how we're saying it. Psalm. Judging by their motions and aspect of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. Oh God, so many pages. What day is this? March 4th? Hey, March 4th is long. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, as I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing things I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was an almost automatic act. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think TheOdie and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. The silence was so unnatural. Then, a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on a single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in twos and threes and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and the torso soon disappeared until the frenzy tangled of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Oh God, that's descriptive. Not one of the attackers had a compassion to snap his neck during the sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. So, for those of you who can actually see this, I think they're called imaginative readers. Well, most people can picture a scene when you read. Yeah, picture that. Intense. Anyways, carrying on. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I would expect any living creature to scream its gut out in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing like everybody else before walking to the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I ever heard of. I don't think I will ever forget what I saw. Dang, well, that's a crazy ritual. Imagine if you guys were part of that tribe. Oh God, if I was there. Oh God. Oh God. My tensions approaching further. Even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. Woot woot, last page. Sorry, I just killed the moment. Alright, continuing on. Slowly easing into the moment. Okay. While the images of the sacrifice still haunt my thought, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptive, simple, and yet perfect in its design. I haven't seen anything like it. Oh, it's been cut off. So that actually says deceptively. Okay, sorry. Like it, yeah. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel that Dhamma, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethnical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigation. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask. So, on the last video I opened the book like this and then I said goodbye to you guys. When I actually scrolled to the end because I had to save, the main character said somewhere in the dialogue right down here below that it was exquisite, amazing, superb, and you know, sentiments like that. But yeah, just telling you something we missed because I had to save. Chandelier. So yeah, that story. God dang. That's some crazy tribes. So it seems like the horror is finally kicking in. Just a bunch of uninteresting books. The glass was empty. Pity. I could have used a drink. Oh, I'm thirsty. The stone in the fireplace was cold to the touch. Ice, ice, baby, too cold. Yeah, I totally got the lyrics wrong. The place was full of exquisite, albeit eyes from the last video. Yeah. Tell me something I don't know. Like, what shade of green is this curtain? then one of you guys is gonna be like, TheOdie! Mayor TheOdie! Clearly it's like olive green. No, smoking can kill you, especially when the cigar's a decades old. So, if these are decades old, then that means that this house has been abandoned for a long time, which means that Story's been there for a long time, which means... Does this story belong to, his best friend Jeffrey? Because... Oh, not Jeffrey, Jerry, sorry. Again, I play Minecraft. I know, I watch a lot of Minecraft YouTubers. Story for another time. But, anyways. So, is that journal Jerry's, or... Oh, this brings me to the piano room. And if so, then... How long time ago was this? Like, just thinking of the time split from when that book was there to when Michael... Yes, that's his name. I decided to learn it. His name is Michael. Okay. Yep, I already read that before. So yeah. Time split. 10 years. Yada yada yada. Anyways, I completely lost my train of thought on that, but I'm pretty sure you guys can figure it out. Because you guys are smart. The fireplace had a generous amount of wood in it, and I was relieved to know that I could warm the place up in case it got cold. I'm certainly not good at chopping trees. You know what? I feel like I've totally forgot his, It looked as if an untidy person enjoyed reading in the living room. Oh no, not a story. Oh god. It definitely is story time, huh? April 20th. During a tit of rage, I burnt my previous diary. Not that I regret it, as if my disjointed notes were worth anything. Their only purpose was to keep one sane. Okay, this text is like so curvy and weird. The eyes look like J's or D's almost, and that N, it looks like an M. Anyways, I feel that this is my escape route, my only means of my only means of finding some inner peace. Whenever I put my pen to this page, I feel that I can reflect upon any situation. I just wish I had more options, that's all. But I'm rambling. I must think clearly. Focus! Focus. May 12th. I become an eternal guardian, stuck between few choices, none of which are good. Do I fulfill a promise and violate everything that I believe in, the very principle of my life? Or am I condemned to spend the rest of my existence in this deadened state, a ghost with no other purpose than just being here, watching? I truly have no escape. I can't find an appropriate solution to this problem, and I must pay the price. I'm a shadow of the man I used to be. Only these notes remain my testament in these moments of meditation, my sole companion. June 26th. Today I spent the entire afternoon staring at the window, my mind a blank. Oddly enough, I really didn't care. It seems now as though it was something natural for me, a part of my personality, but I know the reason very well. I've lost my soul. I'm an empty shell devoid of any feelings. I renounced them on that fateful day. And the worst thing is, I knew there were going to be consequences. No, that's not true. Consequences were far worse than expected. How could I be so blind? So, is he referring to, the previous journal I read? Or is this something else? Oh, January 21st, I think. I often wonder, what would have happened if we had simply reversed it all? What would happen if right now I come out and tell the world what really happened? No, I'd end up rotting in jail, although that might be a better destiny compared to this eternal suffering. November 17th. I can't say for sure when it began. I just heard them one morning, coming from next room. The whispers, are they real? I've been alone for too long. They won't stop. I can't stand it any longer. February 9th. Ever since I locked it away, that everything seems to have calmed down a bit. Perhaps James was right after all. It's madness, I know, but at this point, I'd be inclined to believe anything. May. Just May. Over the years, I was convinced that everything James suffered was a misfortune, a whim of destiny. Destiny. For the first time ever, I'm not so sure anymore. I never thought it could happen, but I believe I understand now. If this is so, then curse my soul, poor James. If I had acted in another way, then maybe things would have worked out differently. But it's too late now, and I have to suffer my Calvary. September 13th. The noises are back, although this time they're different. Before I only heard them inside my head, as if someone or something was whispering, and now, how to put this, interrupting my thoughts. But now, I can really feel them spreading around the house. What are they? September 14th. I realize the noises are coming from down there. I don't want to think about it anymore. December. Oh, September 14th. That's my brother's birthday. December. They are unbearable. They get worse at night. Oh, how I wish it would stop. What is going on down there? I don't dare go near it. I don't know. I don't want to know. March. Oh, March. At first I thought it said Marshy. That's March. God, how many years have passed. I lost all sense of time. I have to get out of this place. The diary disturbed me. The diary disturbed me in a way I could not explain. Yet I felt curious about what happened to him to that poor fellow. So, now I'm curious. How many people actually stayed in this house? And I always wanted to be a pianist, but eventually found another use for my fingers. Typewriting. A fancy red clock, which sadly wasn't functioning. Oh yeah, all the clocks are like dead, he said earlier, except for that one. Hey, I wonder if it's still 9. Anyways. Oh, that's an awkward position. Yep, still 9. Oh yeah, because that thing's dead. Oh, so all the clocks aren't working after all. Why are you ticking then? Alright, so anyways, this video had a lot of reading. I apologize. It probably was boring to like most of you guys. For the others who did grab a snack and actually listen to the stories, thank you. For those of you who enjoyed my reading, thank you again. So, that makes me gotta say, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my reading, then like it. If you'd like to see what happens next, aka up those stairs, and hopefully it will be exciting and story progressing, because this video is just super informatic, well, story formatic, journal formatic. Anyways, this is your mayor, TheOdie. Citizens, stay civilized. Till then, goodbye! And we'll be off on an exciting adventure next time.